Hi, Sean Cummings here. I'm the owner of Home Service Profits, and this is a little bit of an opportunity for you to get to know me, get to know what Home Service Profits is about, and what kinds of things we can do to help you grow your contracting business. A little bit about me. I'm a certified training development professional. I'm a veteran. I've got darn near 30 years worth of experience developing training programs for all kinds of people, from the time I was in the military right to civilian business applications. So I trained million-dollar salespeople for the better part of the last 10 years. I also trained service technicians to make well in excess of six figures every single year. It helped grow the business, to the point of $3 to $5 million or more annually in service department revenue. Now think about that for a second. That's service department revenue. I'm not even talking about replacements yet. I'm talking about just going into people's homes and solving problems. Okay? Now I want you to think for a minute. I don't know where you're watching this from. It might be someplace in Canada, it might be someplace in the United States. But the fact is that every city in North America where there are plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical companies, and they're everywhere, there are always 5%, okay? Top 5% of the companies out there dominate in those markets, okay? And that means 95% are all the other companies that have to struggle to make ends meet. These are companies that do probably a pretty good job, but they're not focused on revenue and profit to the extent that the top 5% are. So, and I bet you you probably know in your market who the top 5% are, okay? And I bet you that that top 5%, you probably know that they likely charge a fee to come out to somebody's home, okay? They likely charge, they use something like an upfront pricing book where people, when they go to someone's home, people get the price up front before the work is done. So it's like menu pricing as opposed to time and material, which you might be on. Okay? These companies, they have really shiny, nice trucks. The guys are wearing white uniforms. They're clean shaven. They don't look like they just got out of prison or out of a homeless shelter. Okay? That's the type of professionalism that these companies bring to the table. They get to the house and they put little booties on their feet and they go inside the home and they do their business. That's a structured approach to doing a service call. And all these companies in the top 5%, they're probably associated in some capacity with a contractor group that teaches these success principles. Okay? These companies are the premium companies in your town. And I bet you that they're a lot more money than you are. Okay? I bet you that you may have said, oh, those guys are ripping people off. They're selling stuff to people that they don't need. You know what I say to that? BS. Okay? The fact of the matter is, every single day, from the moment we get up in the morning till the time we go to bed, we are being sold stuff. And the sooner that you realize that for your business, the better off you are going to be. Because the fact is, people want to be sold to. Okay? Now, there's nothing wrong at all with being a strictly repairman. Okay? You could be a repairman, but you're going to hit a ceiling where you can't grow anymore. You're going to hit a ceiling where you can't pay your people anymore. Okay? And those guys are going to walk across the road for $2 more an hour because you can't pay them enough. The fact is that people all across North America have got plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical problems inside their homes that need to be solved. And there's two kinds of problems that they have. Okay? There are what are called passive needs and active needs. Let's talk about those for a second. Active needs are the problems that cause them to pick up the phone and call your guys up. Okay? I got no heat. I got no hot water. I got no cooling. I plugged something in the wall and it sparked. Okay? Those are active needs. But in every single house in North America, there are passive needs waiting to be filled. Okay? There are things that the homeowner may not be aware of that are broken or are about to break down. Okay? And so when you go into somebody's home, your technicians should be addressing the active needs, the reason they got called out to the house, and the passive needs, the things that the homeowner is not aware of. That's where these companies are making their money. Because the fact is, if you don't address those passive needs, here's what's going to happen. You'll go to a house, you'll fix their problem, their leaky faucet or whatever, and then 3 months later, you're going to get a phone call from a homeowner who's really angry, maybe 3 weeks later, and they're going to say, your guy was just here, and he could have fixed this, and he didn't do it. You know what I'm talking about, because you've had that happen before. Of course you did. I saw it happen at the companies that I was working at. Okay? Passive needs and active needs. You've got to solve them both. The active need is what gets you in the door. The passive need is what helps you grow your business. And when we're talking about passive needs, we're talking about the kinds of things that can be replaced in large part. All right? How many homes do you go into if you're a plumber? You go into a home to fix, a water heater or something, but, you pass by a bathroom that's got like an avocado green toilet from like 1972. Okay? Why wouldn't you offer to replace that toilet? It's wasting water. It's probably going to go at some point anyway. And anyway, who doesn't want a nice shiny white toilet for their bathroom because it makes it look nicer? Okay? That's how you deal with a passive need. And part of the challenge is you have to train your people to ask for the business. So those top 5% of the companies that are out there have recognized that that's where the money is. Okay, and that's what they've aligned their business toward, is solving those passive needs and creating replacement opportunities for their company. Okay, that's pretty much it. The other thing the top 5% have done is they've recognized that it is utterly futile to give prices over the phone and give ballpark prices in any way, shape, or form. Because the minute you give a ballpark price to somebody, whether it's on the phone or if your guys are in somebody's home and they say, hey man, how much does it cost for a new air conditioner? And they go, oh, $2,500? Yeah, that's what they always say. I know this because 10 years ago, when I bought a house here in Saskatoon, I asked the guy who came to fix my air conditioner, hey man, how much does it cost for a new air conditioner? He went, $2,500. And now if you go on Craigslist or Kijiji, where all the truck and ladder guys are advertising, even some of the bigger companies are advertising there, guess what? It's 10 years later, they're still putting air conditioners in for $2,500 to $3,000. And you know what? The last time I looked, prices went up over the last 10 years, except in contracting. So these companies recognize replacement opportunities are a great way to go, but giving out ballpark prices give people a reason to go, well, thanks for your price. I'm going to check see if I can get it cheaper. Because the fact is, unless you give homeowners a compelling reason to show that you are fundamentally different from your competitors, they're going to see you as all the same. And part of your job is to train your people to explain to people that, look, a furnace, an air conditioning system, a water heater, these are complex mechanical systems that have to be installed by professionals. I went to school for years to learn how to do this stuff. Okay, I'm a professional, and the fact is there's no value to you by hiring the cheapest guy, because the cheapest guy, look, hey, come on, you're in business, guys. Do you work for free? Even if you're the cheapest guy in town, do you work for free? Absolutely not. But you think the only way that you can get the business is by driving the price down. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, by offering the cheapest prices possible, what you're doing is you're attracting the cheapskate side of the market. Or you're attracting to the cheapskate nature in some people. 1/3 of the market are value customers. They're going to buy whatever you're charging, even if you're the most expensive place in town. 1/3 of the market are cheapskates, and there ain't nothing you can do. Even if you were the cheapest guy in town, they're still going to say, you're too much money. Okay? And there's the undecideds at the bottom, and they can swing either way. They can go cheap or they can go value. Your job is to get them to nudge towards value. That's really what we're talking about doing here. Okay? Systems, processes, and procedures have to be implemented in your company to make that happen. Home service profits, I can teach you how to do those. Okay? But it doesn't have to be me that you hire. You could join any other contractor group. All right? Major contractor groups in North America, they're going to be charging you about $2,500 to $3,000 a month just for membership. Okay? I don't charge $2,500 or $3,000 a month because these are universal success principles that are available everywhere. These are basic sales principles that are available all over the place. It's about developing structure inside your business. It's about training your people and having systems in place Because without systems, you've got inconsistency. Okay? That's a simple fact. So contractor groups can help you. If you want to spend $2,500 a month to join a contractor group, then by all means do it. It's not necessarily conducive for Canadian contractors because these contractor groups are all the United States. And it costs you a hell of a lot of money to access their services beyond the $2,500 to $3,000 a month that you're spending to join these contractor groups. Don't get me wrong. They have excellent information that will help you grow your business. Okay? They will help you grow your business in leaps and bounds. But maybe you can't afford $2,500 to $3,000 a month. Maybe you've got a tight budget because you're trying to grow your business. Well, that's where my job comes in with Home Service Profits. I want to teach you these success principles and train one person in your company to be your go-to guy or gal who's going to help you implement the systems and processes and procedures in this place. Because if you go to these big contractor groups, conventions that they have in the United States, you sign on to them and they give you a great big 2 or 3 binders full of stuff and they say, here's the 1-800 number, you can call us for support anytime, and you're basically left to the wolves on your own to figure out how to implement it. Okay? The fact is, you need someone who's going to guide you towards, this is what you need to do first, this is what you need to do next, this is what you need to do next, and help you develop a timeline to implement these kinds of things. I promise you, if you do that, you're going to see your business grow. Okay? Now I want to talk one more thing about your call center, right? How you answer the phone is going to determine the success or failure of your company, because very simply, if you can't get calls, you're out of business. You're done. You're finished. If you can't get calls booked for you to go to people's homes and solve their specific problems, okay? Your job is to make sure you get the right people working the phones, saying the right things that are going to make sure the people book calls. And that means you have to have a scripted, structured process. You know, I have spent the better part of 10 years calling dozens upon dozens upon dozens of plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical companies right across Canada, phantom calling them to hear how they answer the phone. And here's the thing. The top 5%, they all answer the phone the same way because they know there's a system involved. The rest of you all, well, you go, Joe's Plumbing, and someone says, hey, can I get a price on a water heater? And you go, yeah, let me look on that. $1,200. And guess what the homeowner says? Oh, okay. Well, I just got to talk to my spouse. I'll call you right back. Do they ever call back? No, they never call you back. Why? Because they're on the phone trying to get it cheaper because you didn't give them a reason to book the call with you when you had them on the phone. So I have a saying. Whenever that phone rings, you got to ask yourself, what happened to the last company that person called? Because they probably called somebody just before they called you. And that person that they just called probably gave them a price over the phone. Okay? And they thought they could get it cheaper. That's really it. You got to train your call center not to do that. More importantly, you got to train your call center to do a friendly greeting. You know, something like, it's a fantastic day at Joe's Plumbing. How can I make you smile today? Now that may sound like the stupidest thing you've ever heard in your life. But what I'm going to tell you is when you start answering the phone that way, it is going to implant a seed in your client's mind. Said, hey, that's different from everybody else. Nobody else answers the phone that way. Hey, that actually made me feel pretty good. Okay? They will remember you because of that greeting. That's one thing that you can do. Another thing that you can do is resist the urge to answer the immediate question when you're on the phone with the homeowner. Resist it. You've got to gather information up front, like your name, your phone number, your address. Those 3. And their email address, if you can get that too. Because if you get their email address, you can market to these people relatively cheaply through things like Constant Contact. Okay? So that's something that's going to help you go along the way as well. Once you've got that information up front, then you can start to solve their problem and you can get the call booked. And if you guys can do one thing different starting today to change your business, just ask for the business on the phone. Once you've got their information, say the following words. Would you like us to come out to your house today to solve your problem? Just like that. Okay? Because here's the fact. If you ask that question with every call that goes through your business, some are going to say yes. And some are going to say no. But I know as a fact that nobody's answering that or asking that question. Nobody ever asks that question. And I'm like, duh, why don't you ask that question? They've called you for service. Why would you not say, hey, can I come to your house to solve your problem? Think about the McDonald's drive-thru, okay? If you ever go to McDonald's drive-thru and they'll say to you at McDonald's, you want a blueberry pie with that? You want a shamrock shake with that? You want to upsize that? They're saying that question to every single car that goes through the drive-thru, knowing full well that some are going to say yes and some are going to say no. But if they don't ask that question, nobody has an opportunity to say yes or no. And as a result, McDonald's doesn't make as much money that day. You have to use that drive-thru thinking when you're on the phone booking those calls. Would you like us to come to your house today? Would you like us to come to your house today? How would you like to book that call? I'm available at 2 o'clock today. Why don't we come to your house today? Ask for the business. Because that's one thing the top 5% are doing that you're not doing either. Okay? There are so many things, little things that you can start to do today to turn around your business, and you haven't even thought about them yet. And one of the things you have to do as an owner of a plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical company, listen, I've been training guys for 30 years, okay? I'm an ex-soldier. I've worked in all-male environments, and I've worked for a home services company for the better part of the decade. I know how guys think, all right? And one thing I know about guys is you all think you're the smartest guy in the room. Well, guess what? You're not. There's people that are smarter than you. Because if you were the smartest guy in the room, you'd be in the top 5%. And you're obviously not. Okay? You see, the companies that are in the top 5%, they have owners who recognize, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. Maybe I need to adopt some processes and procedures from some people who are smarter than me. Okay? That's really what it's all about. So you've got to humble yourself and recognize, you know what? I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I've got to access some resources that can help me grow this business. It's as simple as that. The other thing I know about men as well is they will look for the shortest path between two objects, okay? Guys will cut corners all the time to get things done fast and cheap because, baby, it's beer o'clock pretty soon. Well, listen, here's the cold hard truth for you. If you want to grow your business and become part of the top 5% and have like $3 to $5 to $10 million annually in revenue in your service department, you have to do some hard work. There's no shortcut to success. Anybody who's been successful at anything in life has had to work their ass off to make that happen. Well, that's you. So you've got a choice. You've got a choice there, business owner. You can choose to be number 1 in your market, or you could choose to be number 25. Okay? So why'd you go into this business anyway? To be number 1 or to get yourself a nice shiny new truck every few years? Because I know some guys like to do that too. You can always tell a new contractor, right? He's got a brand new shiny truck. Okay? Those things mean nothing. Nothing at all to consumers. You're all the same. When you put a fancy wrap around your truck, it means nothing to a consumer unless you do something that differentiates your company from everybody else that's out there. So you ain't the smartest guy in the room. Help is out there. Access it if you want to change your situation. And yeah, it's going to cost you some money. That's a reality. That's the price of doing business. So you got a choice to make. You can half-ass it, like you're doing right now, and make a little money here, make a little money there, and maybe you won't have to, maybe next year you won't have to fight to meet payroll for 25 weeks out of the year. Okay? Or you could join that top 5% by implementing winning processes and systems and procedures that work. And you can dominate your market and you can grow your company the likes of which you've never thought possible. That's really what we're talking about developing for you, are systems, processes, and procedures that will help you succeed. So that's a little bit about home service profits. Check out the website, kick the tires, see what's available. I am a professional educational consultant. I will come to your business and train your people on site. I will come to your business and work with your management team. I'll meet with you via Skype. We can consult over the phone. I also will be happy to train people via webinar. Whatever you need to develop a success plan for your company, I'll help you do that. And I can do it affordably. I've got a proven track record. And the fact of the matter is, you can continue doing what you're doing and spinning your wheels in the mud, but if you're spinning your wheels in the mud, typically what happens is you sink. All right, you have yourself a great day, and thanks for watching.